everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in again. We are here with the truck and it's all lifted, wheels are on. Don't mind the traffic going by, but this is what you get with the tires and the lift together. If you don't watch the other videos, it's the Dobinson's IMS extended lift kit. You get the struts for the front. I also put the upper control arms in, and then leaf springs and everything else in the back. You can go and check out those videos if you want more info. But as for right now, we'll get a closer look at the wheels, and then after this I'll go in my garage and we'll measure the height where the ground is nice and flat, and you guys can see how much lift you actually get with this setup. Alright, so starting off with the rims, they are 17-inch black Rhino chambers. These are what they look like. They come in matte black. I believe there are a couple other colors, but don't quote me on that. But I went with the matte black. They're a little bit dirty. They still have the soap and stuff around them from when I got them installed. I haven't washed the truck yet, but this is what you're looking at if you're looking for these rims. They have 0mm offset, and if I remember right, they're 8.5 inches wide. And there was a little bit of trimming on the front of the truck to fit these tires on. We went with Mickey Thompson Baja Boss, and they are 285/70 17s. And another thing to keep in mind, if you get these tires, they are an inside and an outside. You can see it's upside down, but it says outside right here. So make sure if you're getting these installed, they put them on the right way, because that does make a difference for these things. I believe the outside has a little bit of a tougher sidewall. So if you're off-roading with these things, it can take a little bit more of a beating than the inside will. You don't want to blow out the side of the tire. But this is what you're looking at. You can see they do stick out a little bit, maybe an inch or so front and back, just with the 0mm offset. It'll pop it out a little bit, and that is why I had to cut some on the front. I'll do a different video on that because I want to take the wheel off and show you guys where I cut and how to fit them to make it work. But this is what you're looking at with 285s with the black Rhino 17s, 0mm offset. And then a little bit of the stance from the front. You can see how far they stick out if the sun isn't blinding you guys. And keep in mind with the bumper and the winch on the front, it will be dropped down more than your truck would be if you have the stock bumper on, because that is close to a couple 100 pounds on the nose. So it might sit a little closer to the rear without it, a little less rake, but this is what you're looking at with this setup. All right, so here we are back in the garage. I just wanted to do the height measurement in here, not only because this is perfectly flat, so the truck is sitting level, but also this is where I measured the stock wheels. So I went back and checked out the video. The front stock height was 34.5 inches from the ground to the fender. The rear, 35.5. So it had an inch of rake right from factory. After we lifted it with the stock tires on, it went up to 37 in the front and 38.5 in the rear. And now we'll go and measure with the lift and tires and see where she sits. All right, so starting with the front of the truck, we'll put the tape measure on the ground and then up to the fender flare on the front. We are just pretty much exactly at 38, maybe a smidge under, 37 3/4. So that is with the front. And keep in mind, like I did mention, we do have the heavy bumper and winch and everything on the front. So if you do not have that, this will gain maybe a 1/2 inch or so again, just because you'll lose the couple 100 pounds that I have on the front of the truck. So of course this will be lifted, but you're looking at about 38 on the front. So let's move to the rear. All right, so let's move on to the rear here. You can see, again, put the tape measure roughly middle of the wheel on the ground. Come up here to the fender again. You're pretty much at 40 inches. So you'll get 40 inches from the ground to the top, or to the bottom of the fender flare, sorry. And that is with these Mickey Thompson Baja Bosses slapped on, including the lift, which gives us this awesome ride and look now. So there you have it, guys. Tires are on, the lift is on. Keep in mind, this truck has been driven on for a few weeks now. I wanted to wait to put this video out just so that it's settled and the suspension had time to sit where it's going to. Everything should be pretty much where it's going to sit permanently now. So again, if you're looking for all the measurements, I did make a fancy little list here. You can see stock, we were at 34.5, 35.5. With just the lift, 37, 38.5, and with the lift and tires, 38 and 40. So it should have been about an inch with the tires. The front was, the rear was a half off. I may have measured possibly wrong in the last video. I'll have to go and take a closer look. Maybe I was a little bit off, or maybe it just settled a little faster or slower from front to back. So this is what you're looking at right now. And again, Dobinson's IMS lift and the tires, rims, everything will be down below. I put it all in the description with the links for everything. So if you want to buy yourself something to match this truck or something that I have on here, everything on the truck so far is in the description. So go down and check that out. And again, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on the future videos. I do want to point out we did have to cut, like I mentioned earlier in the video. I'm going to do a separate video on that. I want to take the tire off just so I can get in there and show you guys a little better. It's kind of hard with the big tire stuffed in there now. So I'm going to get that off. I'll jack up the truck, take the one side off, and just show you what we trimmed, because it was the same from driver's to passenger side. Driver's side rubbed a little bit more, but I just cut them both the same. Just makes it easier. Looks the same cosmetically and all that stuff. So if you want to see that, stay tuned. I'll try to get on that in the next few days. But as for now, this is what you get. And if you got any requests or comments, drop down below. I'll get back to you, and hopefully we see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, everybody.